All right, so you're an individual landlord or a newbie real estate investor. You have a property and you want to rent it out. Here are some quick time-saving tips that are going to help you rent out the property effectively, quickly, and efficiently. All right, so number one, you've decided to put your home on the market for rent. You're getting inundated, hopefully, with a ton of rental leads, people interested in renting your property, either blowing up your phone, blowing up your email. You get a lot of inquiries of people that want to see your property. All right, every single one of these inquiries say, hey, I want to see the property. Hey, when are you available to show me the property? And you as a landlord can save yourself a ton of headache, a ton of time, and a ton of wasted time if you have a game plan going into it on how to properly pre-screen these potential renters so that they're not just tire kickers, people that don't even qualify to be in your home, and people that aren't even going to fall in line with the timeline that you want to get the home rented, or the lease term that they want to have, or pets. So these are all things I'm going to go over real quickly. A list of items that you want to pre-screen your tenant before you even schedule a time to show them the property. So tenant reaches out to you and says, hey, I see your home on 123 Main Street. When can you show it to me? Rather than just saying, hey, I can show it to you right now, and you leaving work or leaving your family dinner or whatever it may be, obligations that you have, and running straight out to the property and opening the door to a complete stranger, you should ask some questions before you take that commitment and go out and do it. Not only for yourself as a landlord, but for respect for the tenant as well. No need to waste either party's time, whether it's yours or theirs. If it's not going to work, you should probably do a little bit of homework ahead of time before you even commit or have the tenant commit to meeting you at the property. So one of the questions you want to ask is, what's your time frame? Okay, if the tenant has a different time frame of starting the lease than when the lease is going to be available, or when you would ideally want the property rented, then state that during that time and see if it's a possibility for one or the other to make a concession so it would work. If not, then right then and there, that disqualifies the tenant or disqualifies your property, whichever way you want to look at it, and it shouldn't be a time where you schedule a showing for that person because they just don't qualify. All right, another question that you want to ask is, what is your credit score? Okay, don't say, do you have good credit or do you have bad credit? I would specifically ask, what is your credit score? If somebody gives you a specific number, then that means they know their credit score. All right, and if it's below the set standard that you have set acceptable for your property, then there's no need to have the tenant meet you at the property, because even if they like it, if their credit score is lower than what you want it to be, then it's probably not going to be a good fit. And even if they apply and like it, they're not going to get the property anyway. So again, you're saving the tenant some time and possible money if they're going to submit an application fee. There's no need to, because you've already established that their credit score doesn't meet the minimum criteria that you're looking for. Another thing you want to ask is, do you have pets? And if you do, what kind of pets do you have? Are you a landlord that's going to be accepting pets? Are you going to accept all types of pets? Are you going to accept all types of pets and amounts of pets? Okay, you want to get that out in the clear ahead of time. If this is somebody that has 4 pets, they're all over 100 and some pounds, and could do a lot of potential wear and tear on your home that's not suited to take that kind of wear and tear, then you may want to pass and let them know it's not even worth setting up a showing. So that's another pre-screening question that you want to ask ahead of time before you actually commit to showing the property. Another question you want to ask is, hey, is everybody that's going to be living or part of this lease going to be with you when I show this property? This is going to save you some time and headache from making multiple trips back and forth to the property. All right, so if it's a situation where there's multiple roommates and one roommate wants to see it but the other 3 can't, you want to try to set up a time that's ideal for all of the people to meet you at that property, so you have to show it once rather than make 4 or 5 different trips, leaving work, leaving family obligations, taking away from your personal time, so that you're showing it multiple times, and then ultimately, if one of those people don't like it, you kind of just wasted your whole time right then and there. So try to get as many people as possible that are going to be decision makers in this process to meet you at once at that property, so you can answer all of their questions at one time and they can all see it and hopefully make a decision at that point. So another question you may want to ask, and these are just common questions. If you have other questions that you want to ask, I would do so ahead of time as well. But another one you want to ask is, what is the length of lease that you want to get? Is it a short-term rental? Is it a long-term rental? Is it a 1-year rental? Okay, as a homeowner, you probably know ahead of time what type of lease you want. Okay, now if you want a multiple year lease, let's say as a homeowner you want a 3-year lease, okay, because you know that benefits you as a homeowner. That means they're locked in, you're guaranteed to get rent for 3 years. You don't have to worry about turnover, any of that stuff, finding a new tenant. They're locked into a 3-year lease. If the tenant responds with 1 year to start out, I wouldn't disqualify them right away just because they want to sign a 1 year. A lot of times, especially with our tenants, they sign 1-year leases, but then they always end up renewing at the end of that lease to another year or even potentially 2 years after that. So if you just limit yourself to people that only want to sign a 3-year lease right off the bat, you're really limiting the pool of tenants that could possibly rent your home. So if you are interested in 1+ years, as long as the tenant is okay with at least a 1-year lease, I would still go ahead and schedule that showing. However, if it's a situation where the tenant is only looking for a short-term rental, whether it's 3 months to 6 months to anywhere less than 1 year, and you're looking for anything more than a year, then at that point it may not be a good fit. All right, last but not least, hopefully you've got a ton of pictures on your listing and they have been a chance to look at it. You might want to reaffirm that when you're talking to them on the phone or through email. You may want to ask them what drew them to that property, so they have had so you know, as the landlord, they've had an opportunity to look at all the pictures and possibly a video that you posted of the property online. All right, if they have already seen the property and already seen all the pictures, videos, they have a good idea of what that property includes and has in terms of bedrooms, bathrooms, style of kitchen, backyard, no backyard, fence, no fence. These are things that a tenant may fall in the needs category for a tenant. So you want to verify that you've met all their needs, because if there's something that your house lacks on their needs list, then there's no point in showing the home and showing up there and show it to them if it lacks on something that they have to have, whether it's a yard for kids, pets, whatever it may be. You want to make sure that you get that out in the clear and kind of describe the home to them, or make sure they understand what the home has before they even look at it, so that when they actually do meet you at the property and you show it to them, it's really just a matter of them seeing it and hopefully submitting an application right after that. So my name is Mo Hashim. I'm with Flat Fee Landlord Property Management. We do property management and tenant placement for individual landlords and real estate investors for single-family homes, townhomes, and individual condominiums in the DC metro area. That includes Northern Virginia, Washington, DC, and Maryland. If you are in need or want more tips of finding quality tenants, just to give you a little bit of background on us, we have a less than 1% eviction rate on all tenants that we have placed since our inception. We find tenants fast. We do so within 14 days of putting the property on the market. And we also have a 30-day guarantee that we will find a tenant within 30 days, or we will waive our first 2 months of management. If you're interested in those services and don't even want to deal with it and hire a professional, experienced professional to do it for you, feel free to reach out to us. Our website is flatfeelandlord.com, and you can also give us a call or visit us at any one of our local offices.